spring contenders. Actually, I'm going to put it out there. Can United still be considered the Premier League's biggest and greatest?
Yeah, is that good? Okay guys, welcome to Do I Mean Watches podcast, episode 6? 7, I get that wrong every week, man.
I just checked it, I'm literally on it because I was like, I know he's going to get it wrong.
Yeah, anyway, we actually just met a client there who said he watches all the pods. He was like, when are you doing one? And I was like, we're actually just going to film one now. So actually that worked out quite well. So I'm
That's funny because that sounds...
a U-turn here because...
It's funny because that sounds so staged, but that generally...
I genuinely I just literally dropped a watch off to him and he was like, oh, I watched the podcast when you're doing your next one. I was like, we're literally just about to go and do one. So that leads us perfectly into the next episode, which is episode 7.
Yeah, and the watch that he bought was a people's favourite. No one actually wanted to buy it, but everyone loved it.
Everybody loves them. Like, very... I actually bought the watch for myself, as I always tend to do, and yeah, it was a Pinko P36, lovely watch, just never really wore it, and the guy bought it for his wife for her birthday, so she'll be absolutely chuffed with that.
Great gift,
yeah.
Great watch, great all-round watch.
Really nice watch. He brought her Daytona for me to size it so that I knew the sizes, and yeah, just he brought her Daytona out, and I actually moved a few links on her Daytona because she's obviously maybe had it sized from someone who maybe isn't too clued up on how to size them properly, but they should be even on either side, like so the clasp should sit flush on the wrist, and then the links on either side should be as even as possible. She had less links on the back side than she had on the front side, which meant the clasp would have been sitting round her wrist, like round there, rather than being in the middle. So I just evened it up for him and sized the Pinko P to the same, so hopefully she'll be absolutely buzzing with that.
And as we're giving a shout out to that gentleman, I'd also like to give a shout out to Jordan from Ryanair.
Oh right, yes, Josh's celebrity story that you had during the week.
So I was on the flight a few days ago, and I was getting on the plane, and there was like commotion around my seat. I had extra legroom, but I couldn't put my bags obviously under my seat, but it was all full. So I said to the guy, do you mind making me some room so I could put it up? And he was just like, yeah, but he was like looking at me like quite intensely. Anyway, he said, I've sorted it, took my bag off me, put it up. I said, thanks very much. Halfway through the flight, he comes back up to me and he's like, chat me on the leg. And I've got my AirPods in, so I take them out and I'm looking at him. I'm like, oh fuck, what have I done? Because it was a Ryan, I wasn't expecting it to be the steward. The first words that came out of his mouth was, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm a big fan, right? At this point, the people around me have stood up and they've like turned around. I've gone bright red because I'm so embarrassed, and I was like, sorry? And he's like, I watch all your videos on YouTube, like I really like them, like I don't miss anything that comes out. And I was just like, oh, thanks mate, I really appreciate it. But I was so caught off guard, I didn't know what to say. And he was like, do you want a tea, coffee? And I was like, no, I'm good, thanks mate. He's like, any soft drinks? I was like, no, I'm good. He's like, well, if you need anything at all, just let me know.
I don't wired right into the tea or coffee and a soft drink.
And
a Kit Kat or something, definitely.
I don't know why I felt embarrassed. I don't know why I was embarrassed, but I was just.
Do you know what's weird though? To think there's not that many subscribers.
There's not that many subscribers.
But then, it happens quite a lot.
More than what you'd think.
I know, when you tell someone that, they're always like, oh, shut up.
I know.
I mean, but it actually weirdly does happen quite a lot. So shout out to everyone who's came up.
Yeah, shout out to Jordan.
We do appreciate it, and it encourages us to do more.
And if you do ever see us out and about, do come up. Like, we aren't arseholes.
Yeah.
Ish. Do come up, say wagwan, and we'll dap you up. So yeah, shout out Jordan. You got any pet? In fact, you do have pet peeves. 'Cause whilst I was away, you voice noted me your pet peeves. We weren't even on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, the last podcast we spoke about, I feel like my pet peeves are all to do with airports.
Always,
right? My last pet peeve was the fact that Glasgow Airport is now £5 to drop off someone at the airport, which is absolutely outrageous. And my latest pet peeve is about an airport as well. What is the deal? I was in Heathrow Airport coming back through the airport like 9 o'clock at night, and the people who are working in security, obviously all the new security baggage checks and stuff, a lot of them now you don't have to take your liquids out.
Yeah, which is great.
Right, which is fine, but there's a lot of mixed signals, because when you walk through into Heathrow, into the south terminal, the south baggage check, some of the machines are liquids out and some of them aren't liquids out. So when you're walking through, depending on which one you go to, they say take your liquids out or keep your liquids in. So obviously there was a woman in front of me that got quite confused, because she was like, oh, should I take them out? And the woman's like, leave your liquids in. Like, pure abrupt and cheeky. So I was like, fuck's sake. Anyway, and now they've got this new policy where it's like one thing per tray. So I had like a backpack on, and I had a carry bag, and I had my jacket. So then I put my backpack in the bag, and I usually put my jacket in the bag with it, and I'll put my phones in it. And she was like, one thing per tray. I was like, all right, Robocop, do you know what I mean? Calm down. Anyway, so I put the thing in, put the thing through, and
Robocop.
so I went through the thing, and obviously it's beeped because I'm in a bad mood anyway. And I always keep my watch on. I never take my watch off because I just don't trust it going through a thing in security. So I always keep it on. So anyway, I went through the thing. I put my foot on the. She said scan your shoes. So I put my left foot on. It's went through fine. My right foot, it's not went through. So she now thinks that I've got something in my shoe. So I'm like, oh for fuck's sake. So then she's like, take your shoes off. So I've taken my shoes off, put them in the thing. I've walked 2 steps that way. She went, come back here. I just went, your attitude is absolutely rotten, by the way. Like, it's not my fault you're having a bad day. I said, just relax, calm it. I says, and she's like, well, maybe if the people coming through security done what they were told, we wouldn't have this issue. I'm like, your attitude is absolutely stinking. Anyway, long story short, I'd left a bottle of Iron Brew in my bag, so to get pushed to the side. The guy was like, obviously it was going to happen after I'd gave him a bit of cheek. He was like, you know you're not supposed to have anything over 100ml. I was like, mate, I know it's a 500ml bottle of Iron Brew. By the way, coincidentally, if you follow me on my personal account, I was raving on my personal account that I had to pay £4.19 for in Heathrow Airport.
That is
outrageous.
I was
double pissed off because it ended up getting taken off me. So that was a pet peeve of mine. And what was my other pet peeve again that I sent you during the week?
Prices of the flights.
I don't understand this from British Airways, right? So I went online. I was going to see a client in London. I think it was about 5 or 6 o'clock. I was supposed to meet him, and then I was like, I'll just check flights for on the way home. So it was actually a flight on the way home from Heathrow at 9 o'clock, and it was £64 when I checked my app. So I was like, fine, jumped in the Uber. I didn't book it. I was like, when I get there, depending on what time I finish, I'll book it. So anyway, I finished with the client. Check on £324. 45 minutes later, I'm like,
You
what?
could literally fly to most places.
I'm like, how is that so expensive? I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. I was like, it's £64 before. So anyway, I was like, I'm going to book a return just to see if that goes up or down. So with it, you can select one way. I've hit return. I've put the return in for next Friday to fly back to London. So I'm going Glasgow. So I'm going London, Glasgow, Glasgow, London. A week later, it's come up £112 for the return. So is that just a total fucking rip-off then?
the full thing to scam.
Is that just a scam then? So if you need to go one way for somewhere, it's £250 more expensive than it is if you want to book a return. I don't understand that. I can't see where I know that they want people to book a return, but surely, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, but it's bad as well because if you're from like my grandma, like she wouldn't have like thought that she would think, oh fuck, that's what I've got to do.
Mate, there was part of me considering just booking the 300 quid because I was thinking by the time I book a hotel, by the time I stay over, by the time I go for dinner, it's going to be 300 quid anyway. So I was thinking I'll just pay 300 and get home.
Thank God you checked.
But then I was like, fucking hell.
Bastards, BA, they've still not fixed the app, huh?
The app's still knackered. I don't know what's going on with that. It's been broke for about 5 years.
You did have another pet peeve today with Starbucks.
Actually, the cups here. So we go round Starbucks today and usual order short latte with oat milk, 1 sweetener. So that's fine. So I get the cup, which is here.
Brilliant.
Sorry, mate. Is that coffee on you?
Yeah, that's just.
Oh, sorry, mate. I didn't mean that. I'll wash it for you when we get back. I've got Vanish stuff, we'll take that out anyway.
Vanish.
But anyway, so I get through the drive-through and I get the cup and I always look on the sticker because the sticker says, sorry, and the sticker always says Starbucks cup, one single espresso, oat milk, and it usually said 1 sweetener on it, but it didn't say 1 sweetener on it. So I've got the guy to the door, I've checked the cup and I went, excuse me mate, is there a sweetener in this? Because it doesn't say sweetener on the thing. And he went, oh yeah, if you ask for a sweetener, there'll be a sweetener in it.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, yeah, no, but it doesn't say it on the cup. He went, if you've asked for one, there'll definitely be one in it. I'm like, right. So then he's turned around and said to the woman who made the coffee, did you put a sweetener in that? And she went, yeah, I put one in it. I was like, alright, no worries, thanks very much. Left. Coffee was honestly 1,000,000 degrees, so I couldn't drink it. So I ended up getting to Hamilton where we had to go to see Mark. On the way back, I started to drink my coffee. I went, there's not a fucking sweetener on that.
There was no sweetener.
I'm like,
I know.
that is so annoying to the point where I was like, I want to go back there and be like, mate, you told me there was a fucking sweetener in this after me asking you, and I can categorically guarantee you there's no sweetener in it.
I get the same thing when I go to McDonald's, and if you get the mozzarella stick, they give you the tomato salsa.
Yeah.
And they forget every time. So you go, did you put the tomato salsa? Yeah, I just did it. I go, okay, fine. Drive out, there's no fucking tomato sweetener. So then...
Tomato sweetener?
tomato sweetener. Tomato salsa. So I make a point to piss them off, and I go back around, and I sit at the drive-thru and just...
No, but it's so annoying. Just, like, even if you weren't sure, just hand the person a sweetener and say, I think there's a sweetener in it, but there's one just in case there's not one in it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I do agree.
So annoying.
I do agree. But we did have a few big sporting events this weekend.
Yeah.
We had the boxing on.
Boxing was on, Eubank Ben last night. Watched the highlights, didn't watch the full thing.
Unbelievable. 12 rounds of pure hatred.
Can I just say, the ring walks are a disgrace.
Yeah, I'm not about the ring walks. Anthony Joshua was the first person to kill that.
You should have one song.
Yeah, I agree.
You should walk from your changing room to the ring. Should take you no longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. And what did they do? Heads or tails? Who decides they were going to walk in first? Because that's an absolute piss that you have to sit in the ring. The geezer hadn't even left the changing room, and the other Conor Ben was in the ring, like ready to go, and fucking Eubank is still in the changing room.
It's outrageous. Man. He played about 6 or 7 songs.
Yeah.
And his dad's standing behind him, fucking dancing like an absolute tit.
Which also, that's got to be a complete con as well. He was always going to turn out.
Bro, and he wears a sheriff badge.
He's a G, bro. I love him. I love him.
God,
have you ever seen the weigh-in? And like he's being dead serious, and Eubanks on the scales.
He's fully part of the No Wells Club.
Yeah, Eubanks is so serious. He's on the scales, and We Them Boys by Wiz Khalifa's on. He's like, hold on. He's like,
it's crazy, man.
So one of the best boxing fights of all time. I wanted Ben to win. I think they're both arseholes, but I wanted Ben to win.
It's a good fight.
Celtic won the league this weekend.
Celtic did win the league this weekend, yeah.
It's obviously a given from about October that was going to happen.
Yeah, Celtic won the league this weekend.
Liverpool won the league.
Liverpool won the league as well, yeah.
And then we were talking earlier, we were saying...
About Trent, weren't we?
Yeah. People are like, how can Trent Alexander leave after this? It's just like, fucking quite easily, to be honest.
Listen, I don't care who you are, what club you play for. Real Madrid come in for you.
You go.
And you can go there and sign a 4 or 5 year deal. You're good.
There's no team.
And I think fans that have got their backup because he's leaving are idiots.
I think they're more mad the fact he's going on a free. He's a 100 million player.
Yeah, but he didn't cost a penny, and that's the whole point of the contracts in football. Like that's
you say that,
he's signed an obligation to play for Liverpool for however long his last contract was, right? 4 years, 5 years, whatever. It's his right.
Yeah, I agree. That's Liverpool's
to run down
fault.
that contract. Because he's served his time on that contract.
Yeah,
that's what the contract's for. If they had any issues with him signing that contract, they should have given him a 7-8 year deal like they do at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Other players are on like 8, 9, 10 year deals. So I don't know, like it doesn't make any sense to me. They got him for free, they've sold him for free, they've not lost any money, they've got an X amount of time playing time out of him. He's now being offered to go to one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest club in the world, for probably insane wages, and he can go and play in the Bernabeu every week and live his childhood dream. I mean, how could you be, if it was your son, if it was your nephew, if it was one of your family members, everybody would be saying get yourself to Real Madrid.
I think they look at it like they've had him since he was like 12, maybe even younger. Yeah, okay, it didn't cost them any money, but effectively they've got him for free, nurtured him up. Now he's a £100 million player, and they still get fuck all to show for that. So I can kind of get it. I can see why they're annoyed, but at the end of the day, that's the club's fault. They've let that contract run out.
But they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. So
if they sign him to a 5 year contract and he wants to run down his 5 years on his contract and leave himself with options, there's nothing the club can do.
Yeah.
The only thing the club can do is put him up for sale when he's still got contract remaining, and try and get some money from him, but they didn't do that. So,
but at the same time, give him an Anfield sign off. Like if he's going, he's done so much for that football club. At least just give him respect and like.
I think half the fan base will and half the fan base won't.
It's disgusting. Don't agree with that. But is there any job that you would do to quit selling watches and own your own business?
Yeah, I think loads, depending on the amount of money you could earn. I think that's the key thing, isn't it?
Salary?
It's the salary you can earn. If someone came in and said, well, you could earn 5 times the money that you're earning now, but you need to go and do something else, I mean, you would go and do it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, at the end of the day, it's about making your life better. It doesn't really matter what you do.
Yeah.
So I know plenty of clients that have got relatively boring jobs that make absolutely obscene amounts of money. Like, would I trade my job in for that? Yeah, of course I would. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not as much as it's nice selling watches. I've done it now.
Yeah. And then we were talking about that, and then you were saying, could I do it myself? If you did
I
jump
said,
ship.
if I did jump ship, do you think you could do it yourself? And then we actually said pull over and try and record this, but George left the SIM card for the camera in the house. So
Yeah, we were a little bit underprepared. It came back, and then we've actually only got
so
one
we'll continue
battery
the
in
conversation
this.
on.
Yeah.
Do you think you could do it yourself?
No.
And what do you think would be the biggest? What do you think would be the most difficult thing for you to do?
I think there's a few things.
yourself?
I think talking with suppliers is easier said than done. I think you need to have spoken to dealers for quite a few years in order to know how they want to be spoken, how you get the deal done with them. It's a different ball game when you're speaking to a client about a watch. When you're speaking to a dealer, I think that's really difficult. I think I'm pretty good at authenticating watches, but when it gets to the pure, you know, if someone's paid £1,000 for a fake watch, that's actually when it gets a little bit sticky. Whereas you'll be able to tell immediately. I would need to take everything through a watch dealer. I'm also very hungry for a sale.
Yeah,
if you've ever noticed, I just love making an invoice. Whereas you're like, mate, we can sell that watch and it probably will be tomorrow, and we'll sell it for an extra 5-10% that we don't need to take that guy's offer. I'm like, oh yeah, but his offer's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
We bought it for this and he's offered this. We're still making money. You're like, yeah, but that's not it's not the business. So yeah, I think we'd
It's like decision making, authenticating stuff, and kind of speaking to suppliers.
Where would you think I'd struggle?
It's a good question, actually.
You can be as honest as you know. I don't take offence.
No, being completely honest with you, I think everything, like, within time you learn, but it's like the little idiosyncrasies that you forget about, like, you know, checking dials are correct, you know, knowing which dials came on which watches for which years.
Yeah,
like that's a really important part of it. That, like, so for example, someone could offer you, which is a really good example, someone could offer you a chocolate dial Oyster Flex, which actually isn't an Oyster Flex, but it's a chocolate dial Daytona that's been changed to a rubber, which provisionally came on a leather strap, which I would know isn't an original Oyster Flex because it's an Arabic dial, not a normal chocolate dial, but you, I'm not sure, would know that.
No.
So you could end up getting sold something that was like, you could be like, oh, Oyster Flex chocolate dial Daytona, boom, bang online, check the reference. Like, you could be like, oh, right, okay, fine, same watch, okay, maybe not even notice the difference with the numbers in the dial, and then end up overpaying. Like, so stuff like that can catch you out. Fake boxes.
With my knowledge of watches, honestly, will probably go as far back as long as I've been doing this, 2-3 years. Whereas like anything like 2010 prior, or even like to 2015, I'm probably not the best.
There's loads of stuff that you just that I probably take for granted, which there's loads of stuff like this in the course that we do, like loads of little points that, you know, you
would
don't
overlook.
even think about.
Yeah, you would normally just
or you don't even realise you have to check for. That's important. You need to look for dial swaps, you know, like all that sort of stuff when you're buying rare stuff.
But I think, again, I'm blessed in my position because I don't need to. I mean, I should, but I don't need to because you are so clued up. I effectively, everything goes to you anyway. Yeah. So
no, I think you would be good. I think you would be good given time.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is, in this industry, you don't get loads of time because clients want stuff and they want stuff quickly. So if you can't then provide it, it's difficult. And I think with me, with so much experience speaking to dealers, like knowing dealers for a long time, 10, 11, 12 years, like my reputation gives me a lot of leeway.
Yeah, 100%.
Whereas I think if you took over and they knew that I wasn't involved, maybe you wouldn't get as much leeway and the business then becomes a little bit harder. Yeah,
I also think as well, William Reed Watches is about like William Reed. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people are coming through, it's not to speak to me, it's obviously to speak to you. Yeah, people pick up the phone and want to speak to me, and that's just kind of how most people do it. So I think, you would obviously then struggle with the social media side of things because I wouldn't be able to do the social media. So I wouldn't be able to do
podcasts,
do William Reed podcasts, and just having like.
And it's amazing the amount of people that come through this podcast is great. But we're actually sitting outside a client's office just now. We just need to quickly jump in and show them something. So we'll come back on this pod in a wee sec.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
That's a good one to know as well. So we were just showed a client some Cartier bracelets. So anyone has any requests for jewellery, Cartier.
let us know. Yeah,
Custom
that sort of
jewellery?
stuff.
You actually enjoy the custom jewellery side of it.
Yeah, it's a whole different market than we've actually done. I've had some custom stuff done for myself. It's not something we do loads of, but yes, we have done loads of stuff like that.
So if you're looking for engagement rings,
We've done lots of
necklaces.
engagement rings. We've done loads of engagement rings, that sort of stuff. Yeah, we've done tons of that. Loads of stuff for family, loads of stuff for friends. Yeah, it's cool seeing like a project go from like nothing, someone's visualised it in their head, to actually like a final product, which is cool. Which is you don't really get with watches. So that's a quite rewarding side of that. But
Yeah, we're going to do a two-parter to this as well, because we've got one battery, the other one didn't charge this morning, so that will run out at some point. So we'll go through what we've got and then we'll do it. Maybe tomorrow we can shoot the second half.
Sure. Yeah.
Got some new stock in.
Yeah.
Some really cool pieces. One in particular.
Yeah.
The
Pink Beach Daytona.
Yeah, I don't know how much that excites everyone else, but
yeah, it's cool.
for us, that's like the sort of watch that I like to see.
So we found one like unpolished, mint condition, brand new pink strap on it with original box, original papers, which is so important when you're talking about that watch. You'll see, so the watch has a few things to note about the Beach Daytonas, the pink one in particular, and the yellow one actually, because both of them don't come with such a dramatically coloured dial as, like, for example, the blue or the green one does. So the pink dial on it is quite a faint pink.
Yeah.
It's not really in your face pink like the blue variant is, but
it's almost like a more potent mother of pearl dial.
Yeah, so what a lot of people do is they'll sell a Beach Daytona, which is just a white gold Daytona on a leather strap. They'll put a pink leather strap on it, and it'll be a Daytona with a white mother of pearl dial.
Yeah.
And the difference is very slight, but if you know the difference, then you can tell. So this one that we got in stock is original box, original papers, and the original box and papers for this watch are worth about £8,000.
They're so cool.
So it's a pink Rolex box, alligator box, with the pink booklet and all the little bits, and lots of them online you'll see. If you go on Chrono24, you'll have a look at which ones are available. You'll see that there's quite a big range, so you're probably from 40 to kind of 65k, but lots of them under 60k all don't have, either they don't have any papers, but they all come with normal Rolex boxes, which is like the normal green box, and some of them have got just a mother of pearl dial, not an original pink Beach Daytona dial. So we've got one that's a full collector set, all the tags, all the booklets, the original box, and everything's all matching. So that's really important when you're buying that watch, because it gives it future value.
Well, I think anyone who's buying that sort of watch is like a collector's piece, right? It's not for everyone. So if you're buying that watch, it's probably a collector's piece. So if you're buying it and you're a collector, then you want a full set. And we had an inquiry from a guy not long ago, and he wanted a pink one and he wanted a blue one. So I went online, found a couple listings, none with the original box, but couldn't find
so hard to find, and a lot of people have not stored them correctly. Obviously, since kind of made in kind of around the year 2000, so 25 years old. So a lot of people haven't stored the boxes properly, and the boxes are in terrible condition. The insides of them are ruined. You know, the straps are normally ruined. The one we've got, box is immaculate, booklets are immaculate, straps brand spanking new, watch has never been polished, very mint condition. So yeah, excited to see if we can get rid of that one sometime soon. But I actually wore it for a couple of days and really enjoyed it. So
and then
watch 5167A also we bought over last week,
which we've already talked about, but it is impossible. Really
difficult watch to find at the moment. Don't ask me why. Just watches kind of seem to go through cycles of rarity, really, and that watch in particular is really rare at the moment. We had an inquiry on that a couple of days ago. I think that guy's going to buy it, but he's got something he wants to trade in. But you're just an incredibly hard watch to find. You can find the older models, but they're usually battered and not in good condition. The one that we bought is 2018, full set, immaculate, never been touched. Strap's basically uncut, it's a full size strap. So yeah, really excited about that. And I actually bought 2 Rose Root Beers yesterday. One's a 2022 and one's a 2023. So again, great value in those watches now. Those watches are worth retail prices over 35,000 now. So you can pick that up from us for 7 or 8 grand under list price. So
it's mental.
Yeah, good bargain to be had on that. So if anybody's looking to trade up into a Rose from a Stealing Rose, that we've had loads of inquiries like that the last couple of days.
To do that.
It's definitely one of the more affordable watches on the market, and especially the Rose Root Beer. I think it's probably one of the cheapest in the country.
So had any more in?
Bought a rose olive actually with the Pink Beach Daytona, but that won't come for another couple of weeks.
Just sold a rose olive as well.
Sold a rose olive last week. I think I bought another rose olive, so it'll be a couple of rose olives coming in the next couple of weeks. So I've done kind of 3 or 4 of them in the last 3 weeks. So,
Yeah.
Alistair came over the other day and he was like, "We not sold 2 of them a week ago?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "That another one sold?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "So that's 3 rose olives in the space of like 10 days." I was like, "I know."
Which
But
again,
they're
it's
affordable now. Like,
yeah, they're affordable. It's a nice watch.
it's cool. Like when you wear it, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, even although there are loads of them around, it's still a cool watch to wear.
Yeah, I concur. Anything that you've seen that you've got your eye on at the moment? that you're trying to
Yeah,
buy?
I really like the new Oyster Flex with the Tiffany blue dial. I had a chance to buy one of them at $50,000 the first week that it came out. I just kind of was a bit unsure. I didn't really want to take the punt, but I wish I would have bought it because it was the only one that I've seen available up
How
until
much
now.
was
So $50,000.
$50,000,
Yeah.
which is to be expected. Have you seen any land dwellers?
I've not. No, I've had a few clients call me to say that they're expecting one, but really, none really come through yet. I don't know where they'll be. Quite a low retail price on it, so it'll be interesting to see if they sell above a ceramic Daytona or below. My guess is that they'll definitely sell below a 126 reference ceramic Daytona, but I don't know exactly where. There's just none come through yet.
To be. If you had the option to buy,
A client asked me the other day, what would you buy? Would you buy a ceramic Daytona or buy a land dweller? I said ceramic Daytona because I don't know, the land dweller's nice, looks a bit too much like a date just. Do you get the same effect from a date just white Roman dial that you do from that? Pretty much.
I mean, a Daytona is out there with the best Rolex model.
Yeah, people overlook a Panda, but really when you get a brand spanking new one, like they are cool.
Yeah.
Put them on, they do feel nice, it's so comfortable.
I was always on the fence between the black dial and the white dial. I didn't really have a preference, but when I was just away, I saw a lot of people with the Panda, and that grew on me a lot. I was like,
it's a bit more obnoxious than the blue, the black, sorry, but yeah, it's a cool watch to wear. But not something really you would wear every day. But
and how much more of a difference does the white dial command to the black dial?
Probably about 10 to 15%.
So really, there's probably not that much difference in it for me then. I probably would just take the cheaper option.
Yeah, I like the black new reference more than I like the previous one. But yeah, as a more wearable watch, I'd say the black dial. White dial is loud, probably not something you would wear every single day.
Yeah, we had a new reference and an old reference Daytona back when the new reference first came out, and you had to sit with the client and you sent me to the safe to go and get the new reference. And I was
you came back with the old reference one.
Eeny, meeny, miny. I just picked one and I was like, I can't tell the difference. Now I can tell the difference.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty easy. One's got a silver ring around the bezel, one doesn't.
That's the telltale of it.
Yeah.
But I saw you speaking to a guy last week about Royal Oak stainless steel. It had like a mother of pearl dial with like diamond dial.
Yes, so 36mm white gold mother of pearl diamond dial, very similar to the yellow gold one that we had in stock. Unfortunately the dealer just wanted a little bit too much money for it, and it had no papers, which is a little bit of a killer on those older models. The one that we had box papers, original tags, original booklets, original links. This one was 2 or 3 short on links, which try and find a white gold 36mm AP link is near on impossible. The condition was very nice, but yeah, just wasn't something I was comfortable stocking at that money when it didn't have a full set. They're hard enough to sell as it is, never mind when you're lacking papers, and they can go back to AP. Sometimes these watches are a little bit old to get archived straight away from AP, so they can take a little bit of time. So they kind of need to make the papers for them rather than just basically go into the archive and print you off a set. But yeah, no, that was a cool watch, definitely.
Is there any other watches that you're struggling to find at the minute?
Yeah, I need an is it Alexis Pinero RM67.
Oh yeah.
02, which is the white carbon TPT. Looking for one of them just now. I've got a client who weirdly has this. I'm not going to name who it is, but like weirdly it has this invented this product that I use like every single day, and I had no idea. It was him.
Use it as well. I use it. It's something I use every day.
I had no idea it was him, and yeah, he came through. It was like blah blah blah, and I kind of twigged about. After my pal followed him and kind of told me who it was, I was like, no way is that who that is. And his Instagram's just a dead normal Instagram, but this company's huge and something that I actually use. So He was messaging me the other day, and I was saying to him, it's about time you returned the favour. I've been using your stuff for
You've basically
years.
bought that RM.
I know, so it's
But
cool.
it's still quite like an upcoming brand as well. In the market, it's like upcoming.
Yeah, but it's big. It's massive.
As the fact he's buying RM, just a good person to get him in now, because it's only going to get bigger.
I know, and it's so good. So he was kind of between, he wanted something a little bit understated. I mean, I know an RM is not understated, but he wanted like a black, and then he was like, my favourite one's the white. And I said, look, if you put the white one on a black strap, it's actually one of my favourite combinations, and it's not super loud, so you can get away with it. So yeah, we're looking for one of them just now, but all these RMs are price dependent, and you need to buy them off reputable dealers, because there's so many going around that have got fake papers, that have got, you know, different cases on them, like they've been messed around. The straps are really hard to find, so you need to be really careful and selective on who you buy these watches from. And also it's a long process getting these watches to the UK and making sure that everything's correct before you make the purchase and you get a deposit from the client. So it's definitely a deal that will take a few weeks to happen, probably 5 or 6 weeks in reality. The last RM deal took us kind of 7 weeks to get through. Yeah. So it's exciting to be doing big stuff like that, but that's kind of just become the norm really in the last, probably I'd say 3 or 4 months. We've really started to do bigger pieces, like a lot bigger stuff, and we've got a 59.90 Rose deal on the table just now that we're trying to buy, but the client's just looking for a little bit too much money on that. But yeah, it's good to be considered for these big purchases with clients, and I think the more that we do in that kind of sphere of expensive watches, and I mean all watches are expensive, but in that kind of 200k plus sphere, then I think the more trust that we get. So
that's it. It's funny because we just put the one on, and from putting the one on led to 2, and then we sold one, so then you put 2 on, that leads to 4. So the more you do these big pieces, the more credible it makes you. And
you get a little bit of social proof from that, and then people go, oh, they sell that kind of stuff. Not that we don't have any social proof already, but it certainly gives you an extra string to your bow, a more expensive string certainly, that people can give you a little bit more trust and trust you a little bit more when you're dealing with these kind of bigger things. So, and
you also enjoy dealing with those things.
Yeah, because the watches are cool.
Yeah, super cool.
Some dream watches in there, that like that Alex's Pinero one, which is a white carbon NTPT like that on a black strap, is special. And Central C wears it, if anybody's wondering. He's got the exact same watch. So
and a cool one that you saw the other day, that Storino did his 6702. That's an Italy edition that he...
No, his is a Sebastian Ogier, which is the black carbon NTPT, which with what looks like the French flag on the inside. So he actually had that on like an aubergine coloured strap, which actually was very, very cool. It's the first time I've ever seen a 6702 on that strap. But it would surprise you the amount of 6702s that have actually been made. I think there's about 10 or 12, but most people just know like the Mutaz, which is the pink one, then you've got the green one, then you've got obviously the Italy, then you've got the OGR, and then a couple of others. Like most people probably only know 6-ish, if you're lucky, that actually are on the market. There's a few other ones that are like limited releases, like 50 pieces, you know, 15 pieces, 20 pieces, whatever. Those ones are pretty special. So there's quite a big selection, but you forget the amount of straps. But that leads me on to a point that I want to make about 6702s and RMs in general. If you're lucky enough to buy an RM at retail price, then the shop should give you a selection of straps that you can buy with that watch.
We actually spoke about this on the last pod.
We've been looking for a 6702 strap for that Italy, which is a grey Velcro strap, for ages, and we can't find one anywhere. We managed to find one, the guy sent us it and it was the wrong strap. So we're currently still trying to find one, but I went into RM and they were like, oh, some of our clients have been waiting 3 years for that strap. I'm sorry, but if I'd paid £200,000 for a watch, they should give, okay, they might not sell you 4 or 5 straps at that time, but they should have a selection of straps that you can pick from. If you've bought the watch from them, you should be able to buy the strap that you like there and then, or at least order it and get it in a couple of weeks. You shouldn't be buying that watch and then having, you know, a 3-year wait to get the strap that you want. By that time you've moved on to a different watch. I just think that is ridiculous.
Yeah, I concur. I agree. We just passed one there. I want to get your take on it. A World Buffet. Because you've
honking.
You've got quite... I fuck with your taste of food, right? Because you can have really high end. Well, we go to like a fucking Afghan place opposite the gym and it's fire. So good. You don't turn your nose up and stuff like that, but you would turn your nose up at a World Buffet.
Yeah, because it's minging, man. The amount of germs in there, the amount of different plates of food, the amount of different things getting cooked. I'm just a very firm believer in quality over quantity, and I think
whereas I'm just
like the
give me
best
as much
places,
food.
the best places are places that do one or two things really well,
Yeah.
and they become then famous at. Like En Croûte is the perfect example. Steak and chips with a sauce, like that's what they do.
That's the only thing
that's
they
what
do.
they're famous for, right?
Yeah.
And then that other place in London, the Matilda cake place, they sell one cake. That's what they're famous for. Like I'm a firm believer in doing one thing and doing it really well. Whereas the World Buffet, you know, fuck me, they must have 100 different dishes in there.
Yeah.
Like they've got Chinese, they've got Italian, they've got Mexican, they've got you can buy anything you want in there. Do you know what I mean? So I just don't think that there can be a level of quality when your chefs are making so many different things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I would never go to a World Buffet.
I love cheap food though. Like,
No,
love
but
a
I just
kebab.
think, but that's not that World Buffet, is it? World
no,
Buffet's
no.
like everything.
But I'm saying the kitchen's probably just as clean as the fucking World Buffet kitchen.
No, I know, but at least I'm making one thing, which is a kebab.
Yeah, I do agree.
I do like kebabs though.
What day are we on? We're now on the 28th of April. How have you found the first quarter of 2025?
Yeah, fantastic to be honest. Really, really good. Yeah, good. The only thing annoying me is I paid a council tax bill this morning that is just fucking outrageous.
Is that what you were doing earlier?
Yeah.
You're ripping paper up like there's no tomorrow.
This pisses me off, mate. It's like, honestly, like, they've just got you every which way you turn. They're trying to charge you tax for this, tax for that. The roads outside, you know, where I live are atrocious. They need redone. They're giving you parking tickets now in Glasgow, which used to be 30 quid if you never paid them in 14 days. They were 60 quid. Now they're 50 quid if you don't pay them in 14 days. They're 100 quid.
It's like London.
Like, they're just charging you every which way you turn. They've got you fucked.
And then the bit where you used to be able to park for free, all of that now is you need to pay for your parking.
Everywhere they've got you, mate, they've got you done. Everything's just so expensive, and I really struggle to leave the house now and not spend 50 quid.
Yeah.
50 to 100 quid every day, like it's...
You're the worst going into Waitrose.
No, but even like, so even
You
went to...
buy your lunch and it's 70 quid.
I even went to Marks and Spencer's right yesterday because someone told me that Marks and Spencer's was cheaper than Waitrose.
Which it probably is.
Yeah, it probably is, but I don't. When I'm going around Waitrose, I never think it's that expensive.
Oh.
And then I get to the till and it's like one bag and a bag and a loaf and it's like fucking 63 quid. I'm like, how is it so deep? But I suppose it all just adds up to the point where I was like, I checked my receipt the other day because I got about 10 things. It was like 68 quid. I was like, how is that 68 pounds worth of stuff?
Yeah.
Mental.
This is probably going to down us in the next 10 minutes. So we'll just go on to the two last topics and we'll carry this on tomorrow. So the boy you bought the root beer from, he is a footballer. Won't go into much more detail.
Footballer, yeah, really nice guy. Followed each other for a long time, so it was good to get a deal done with him.
But he's a member of Wentworth Golf Course.
Yeah, Wentworth Golf Course.
We have been kindly invited by
him and also by weirdly another client in the same week. So we got invited by him, so we'll get a game with him in the summer, hopefully when he's back, and then I've got a game on the 9th down there with another one of our clients, so we're really looking forward to that. But
which is a bucket list course for me because I know there's so many better courses probably than Wentworth. Wentworth's one of the best in the country, but there are better courses out there. But I've lived, 10 minutes away from that place for 25 years.
And you moved to Scotland to meet me and I've got you on. And you moved to Scotland to meet me and I got you on.
Yeah, I did have a couple of plugs here then, but they never came through. But yeah, we get to play it, so very excited for that. And then you played Dumbarnie.
I played Dumbarnie last Monday. My golf cart was in the wrong hole for the first 8 holes, so which resulted in Steph being 8 up because every single shot I hit was 50 yards long, and I lost about 8 balls. I didn't realise until the 8th hole when I looked down at the thing and it said you were on the 9th. I was like, this thing is in the wrong. Anyway, so yeah,
that was Steph who rigged that, I reckon.
Steph pumped me, but that was purely because my golf cart was giving me the wrong yardage the entire time. So,
and if anyone's watching this and would partake in a WRW golf event, do let us know.
Or anybody who just wants beat at golf, really, to be honest, then we are more than happy to dish up a 2v2 match.
Yeah, 100%.
2v2 scramble.
Yeah, 100%. And the comments have dried up on the whole YouTube stuff as well, so if you are watching this, you've got a question, you've got topics that you want us to talk about, it can literally be anything. We chat so much waffle on these podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
I actually prefer talking about waffle than I do talking about watches, to be honest.
Yeah. But we've learned that doesn't always. A lot of people are wanting now the watch talk.
Some clients want the watch talk.
But again, we are getting more recognised for the old watches. So.
Yeah, so if anybody has any questions about watches or they want some, you know, they want some value on some stuff, or you know, even if you've got a nice collection and you want to send it in, and we'll do like a rate your collection kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
that could be quite cool. I mean, that guy would absolutely run away with it. Rate your collection. He's just won it without.
He was the only entry, and he's already won.
And about 70 watches. You know what I mean?
He can be in his own league.
Yeah, he can just deal. He can be the emperor of the rate my watch collection.
He's in the Champions League, but if you've got 4 or 5 and you want to be in the Championship, you know,
yeah,
we're happy to start a new table.
We're happy to start a new table with them.
Yeah,
cool.
That is interesting. I would like to see it. We won't give you a name, but if you want us to like throw an image up, we can always look to do that. So yeah, this is gonna die. So let's wrap the part 1 up here, and we'll do part 2 tomorrow.
Okay, sure thing.
Bye everyone. All right, part 2. We're back.
We're back for part 2 the following day. Little 2-part.
Little outfit change.
Outfit change, little 2-part episode.
Little weather change.
Weather's so nice today in Scotland.
Beautiful. Heading out through to the coast.
Heading down to Prestwick, yeah, to deliver.
Not for golf.
Not for golf. Nah, I'm going to deliver an AP actually down in Prestwick. So just heading on now. Nice little drive, 26 minutes. Meet a client in, is it Lido in Prestwick? That's actually my pal's place, Struan's place, but right, just heading down there now, so it should be good. So we just continue on the pod then.
I've got a few new pet peeves that have come to me as of today. First pet peeve, I was driving to your house this morning, and a guy in a brand new Aston Martin was driving along the motorway next to me with AirPods in. I don't get the AirPods whilst driving. Surely you've got Bluetooth.
Yeah, but maybe he's got 2 phones. And he's one for his AirPods and one.
I just think that's such a. What if someone's like, you know, you need to be aware as well. You need to hear things.
Yeah, but you can hear stuff with AirPods in, can't you? It's not like he's got AirPod Maxes.
No, they were the noise cancelling.
Yeah, I don't know.
AirPods. And then on to that point, we see it quite a lot, and we always talk about it. The people that are going shopping with somebody, and then they've got AirPods in.
Mate, I see a guy and a girl out for lunch the other day, and the guy was reading a book.
Okay, a book's probably not as bad as the AirPods.
Mate, if I went for breakfast or lunch or dinner with someone and they brought out a book and started reading it, I'd be like, are you having a laugh?
But we were in Zara not long ago, and the guy was walking around with his bird, and he had the headphones in, and she was full blown talking to him. He had no idea. He had 0 idea.
That is meant.
And then shout out to Greg, one of our neighbours and friends, who is very precious about his car.
Oh my god! Not even precious. It's like he treats it like it's a Fabergé egg.
He only drives it if it's had a full valet.
Yeah.
He doesn't drive it anywhere outside
or if the sun's scorching and the weather's like this. And this morning he had an entire condom around his car.
Yeah, it looks like a giant bin bag.
Giant bin bag around his car because there's people outside the flat doing jet washing the stones, and he's overdoing that. So, mental.
Yeah, it looks like one big bin bag.
Josh caught him this morning.
I pulled up and he turned around and he went, "Oh fuck!" And I was like, "Wait, I didn't know you could buy a bin bag so big." And he was like, "I didn't want any of the neighbours to see," and I ran ahead to do quick. And he's like, "The one person I really didn't want to see me doing this is you or William, and you've caught me red-handed."
That's so funny.
So shouts out to Greg in his very precious car. I mean, there's a guy parks not far away, has an 812, and he just puts it on the road. Doesn't care.
Yeah, but that's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't think I would do that, to be honest.
Would you do it, the old bin bag condom?
No, I think I'd have it in somewhere.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's all relative, isn't it? Like, 250 grand motor, if it doesn't really mean that much to you, then that's what it is.
And then I needed new tyres on my car yesterday, so I had the tyres put on. And then as soon as I get on it, the coolant light came on.
Tell that story, it's funny.
So I said to William, I was just like, "How important is coolant?" And William was like, "Yeah, it's pretty important." I was like, "What is it? It does. What does it do?"
Oh, I think you use it cools the radiator down, I think. So
Right.
it like stops your car from overheating.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think that's what it is. And I said to him, I didn't think it was that important because we got a mechanic we use. We need a quick fix. We go to him. He's an odd guy, but he's a funny guy. And he was looking at my car not long ago, and I said to him, "I'll make my coolant lights on." He goes, "I no bother, son. I'll fix it for you." He just goes into his reporter cabin, boils the kettle, comes out and just puts boiling water in the cooler. He goes, "That's you good to go." And I was like, "Is that all coolant is?" And he was like, "Aye, it's just boiling hot water."
I'm not sure it is.
No, I don't think it is either.
Well, no,
You said it might as well have just been custard.
I know. Don't worry about it, mate. It's alright, just put a bit of custard in there, it does the same thing.
So yeah, cool. Speaking of cars, have you got? You'd like to get rid of this hopefully soon enough?
Yeah, I think this will be up for sale probably before the end of the summer.
So if you were to shortlist 3 cars at the moment, what would be on your?
Well, I've been watching Mobland, the series on Paramount, and Matt Hardy. Is it Matt Hardy? Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, yeah.
Tom Hardy. Matt Hardy used to be a wrestler, I think.
Yeah. The Hardy Boys.
The
Hardy Brothers.
And he drives an RS6 in it, and it's really cool. It's like gunmetal grey. It's got the performance wheels on it. It's really cool. So I really fancy one of them. My pal actually phoned me this morning and said there's one on Carwow to do. He thinks it'll go for 54 or 55 grand, which is cheap for that car. So I really fancy that. Next,
is that like the new style?
Yeah,
wow.
It's like perfect all-rounder, big boot, great for golf, fast, looks good.
Sounds amazing.
I've always liked them. I've had an RS4, I've had an RS5, I've had an RS3, so the next progression would be RS6. I do like them, it's a nice car, they're massive though.
And then what else would you like? So RS6 probably top of the list at the moment.
Yeah, I quite fancy that. GT63, the 4-door version, which is really cool.
I told you should be buying that.
I really like that car as well. My sister's actually just got a Range Rover, a big brand new one, like the big Vogue.
Yeah, they're expensive.
That's really cool. I like the Defender 90s as well. My pal Jack's selling his Defender 90s just now. He's asking me if I wanted to buy it the other day. Nice car, really cool spec. So I don't know, I might just get something sensible, to be honest. I mean, I say that, I'm trying about to buy an RS6, but I don't know, we'll need to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I went to a charity event on the weekend with a guy who owns Optical Express or Vision Express, one or the other, and he's got a car collection in Glasgow that's in like a museum, and he's probably got, I don't know, 500-600 cars.
Yeah, 600 cars?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Probably something like that.
He's not the Sultan of Brunei, but he's got 600 cars. Do you know how much 600 cars is?
Mate, he had 5 SLR.
I know, but I don't think he's got 600 cars.
Yes.
I mean, pause that, I need to take this call. Sorry guys, they're just taking a call there, but yeah, he's not got 600 cars. He's probably got 150.
Maybe. He had probably about 300 motorbikes.
Yeah, but motorbikes take up a lot less space in the car, doesn't it?
Yeah, they do.
He had some absolutely incredible stuff.
Yeah, he had a Senna, which was really cool.
Was he 5 SLRs? 1 SLR, 2 SLR, 3 SLR, 4 SLR, 5 SLR on the regi plates. I mean, that's a joke. 2
soft tops and the rest were hard tops.
Wow.
All left hookers. So
all left hookers, was it?
Yeah, he's obviously importing it. Really cool 911s, DB5s.
Competizione, one of them? No?
Didn't have a Competizione. Dakar. What's that Lamborghini? The
Cyan, yeah.
He had one of those, which was like mental. And then he had like Alfa Romeos that were owned by like the Alfa family. Really, really cool. But one of my favourite cars in there is the SLS, the Gullwing SLS.
I remember, if anybody remembers this, back in the day, probably about 10 and 12 years ago, something like that. I remember Mercedes were doing a deal on SLSs, and it was £1,200 down, £1,200 a month for 12 months.
Oh my god.
When they couldn't get rid of them.
It's the coolest car.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
So I do think...
What an amazing car to sit in and drive. And
yeah, the noise of it's sick as well.
Mate, unbelievable. It feels like a spaceship because it's like a cocoon inside. It's like a little... And the nose is so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool car.
If you were getting any of the
Black Series, SLS Black Series, one of my favourite cars.
If you were getting a car out of your list, I would advise you on the AMG GT63.
The problem is though, they just don't stack up well on the finance.
Well, they're about 70k, but I think you're going to
Nah, they don't. You need to get a good one. You probably need to pay in the 80s, but they just don't stack well on the finance at all. The finance is crap on them.
Yeah. So. And then when you go to Marbella as well, I've just come back and you see so many cars that you get like swayed by that you see.
The problem is you see them in the sun.
Yeah.
Like the picture of that Urus you sent me, it's got like the matte yellow wrap.
Yeah.
Like it looks incredible, but it's also scorching sunshine.
Yeah, it looks
every
like
car
it
looks good in the sun.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you get back to Scotland and it's like piss and rain and there's flies going all over your car every time you go on the motorway, do you know what I mean?
It's not ideal. But you just said you were watching Mobland. Recommend it?
Yeah, it's good. It's a bit dramatic, like.
A bit too much?
Yeah, it's what's the director called? The guy that's done the Batman and stuff. He done like Peaky Blinders, like Enemies, done loads of stuff. He done The Gentleman.
Oh, he owns the pub.
English guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't remember his name, but he it's a little bit far-fetched, but it's really, really, really good. Some great actors in it. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Have you watched anything else?
Nah, not really. I'm not a massive TV buff, to be honest.
No.
But
I've seen that Carlos Alcaraz has a new thing out on Netflix.
yeah, I was going to watch that. I seen him wearing a platinum Daytona Arabic TBR the other day at some tennis awards. Nadal obviously taking the absolute piss out of everybody. He had the 27.05 on, which is just like absolutely outrageous. Djokovic had some crap Hublot on, and yeah, a couple of Omegas and stuff like that. But yeah, Alcaraz's watch was cool.
But you're a big fan of watching YouTube.
Yeah, I just watch YouTube all the time. I watch Boulder Sports, which is one of my favourites.
I sent you a good one last night.
Golf channel, honestly, absolutely hilarious.
Cold Cuts.
Joey Coldcuts is definitely my favourite character. Also, Fat Prez is good, and Bob's funny as well. Like they're all funny. That's really, really, really good.
Yeah, recommend that.
Who's the guy? Ticket does the camera, and who's the other guy? I can't remember his name. Look, short guy, black hair.
I don't watch it like you didn't watch it. And you watch a lot of the football stuff as well, the podcasts.
Yeah, the football stuff's open goals funny. They've just done one actually with the Wings Challenge. Oh, I was howling at it this morning. So funny.
And then I was in a shop yesterday and I wanted like a fruity can of juice, and I was intrigued to know what your top 3. Also, cans of juice, for those of you that don't know, is a Scottish term for a fizzy drink.
Yeah, like in a can.
In a can, yeah. A juice down the road, if you ask for that, you would be getting juice.
Squash.
So
also, squash isn't a thing up here, it's diluting juice as well.
diluting juice, yeah, which is the strangest thing.
Well, you dilute the water with the juice. So it
Yeah, I
makes
know,
sense.
but it's just squash.
Yeah.
Squash, easy, quick. So yeah, top 3 cans.
In Scotland or when I'm on holiday?
Anyway, if you go to a corner shop in Scotland, what are you
Number 1, Iron Brew Extra.
That's so Scottish.
Number 2, probably Fanta Lemon.
Yeah, I'm partial to a Fanta Lemon.
A nice
especially
ice
on
cold
holiday.
Fanta Lemon. Or maybe a San Pellegrino.
Wow, posh.
Maybe San Pellegrino, like a blood orange one.
Mine's the opposite. I love a Rubicon.
Yeah, that's weird though.
A mango Rubicon.
You do have one African uncle, is that where that comes from? Well, you don't have an African uncle, your auntie is married to an
Not
African.
even married.
They're not even married. It's her husband, and not her husband, it's her partner. And Josh always goes on about how he's got ashy knees because he's got an African uncle. I'm like, mate, it doesn't work like that.
It's part of the DNA.
But
It's not even in my DNA.
You're always drinking like Rio and shit.
I love a Rio.
Yeah.
Well, when I was younger on a Friday night, I would have
Pineapple fizzy.
from the age of like 7 through to like 18 on a Friday night, I would have had a doner kebab and a Rio.
Yeah, weird.
So that's where that comes from.
How strange.
So that was your top 3 cans of juice. Top 3 shoes in your collection, I want to know.
I've got a rare pair of LVs, the bottle green ones.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
I actually haven't even seen those.
I'd probably then see maybe the Sales.
Salesforce.
Yeah. And then I don't really know.
You got a really cool pair of the Union Air Jordan 1s not long ago.
Oh yeah, Unions.
They're
Yeah, those are
really
nice. Yeah, the red ones.
Yeah. We got a meeting tomorrow with another car company. Maybe
Yeah.
not give it away yet because we like to do the grand reveal when we actually do the event with them.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of interesting side of the business that we do now. It opens up a whole new pool of clients for us. I think it's really good for brand exposure, and I think it gives us a little bit more social proof. I've certainly found that clients are like, oh, a little bit of trust in you because I know you worked with like Ferrari in the past, and obviously now we've got another huge car brand that's on board. So yeah, no, I think really it's really good for us in a business term. It doesn't necessarily, result in direct revenue or direct sales, but it definitely gives us another string to our bow and makes us a little bit more, gives us more exposure in that luxury goods sector, which is difficult to get.
I think when Ferrari came on board, we knew it was going to be a really good caliber of clients, but at the same time, they're not ones to lend you cars. It's very much you do as we say, and we'll abide by it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if they wanted to start lending us cars that we could do some shoots in, I would be absolutely all for it, to be honest.
I think we've like built enough trust where it's like that's going to come soon enough.
It's just one of those things, like, what does that do for them? You know, does it... We need to come up with probably an idea that is equally as, you know, equally as good for both parties, and it's trying to create a more of a lifestyle element to their brand, which they probably don't, not Ferrari as a whole, but I mean the company that we work with, they don't do a lot of lifestyle stuff, so and that's really what sells the product. And not that they are struggling whatsoever to sell product, I don't mean that, but it just gives them it gives clients a way to envisage themselves, you know, maybe wearing the watch in the car, or maybe when they drive that car what they're going to look like, and it just gives a whole new perspective to that kind of luxury side of the market. And not that they need that whatsoever, but it would be cool to be able to partner up with them and maybe get a car and do a little bit of a lifestyle kind of shoot, you know, some video of driving the car or whatever else.
Like trying to do a podcast in the car.
Podcast in the car could be really, really, really cool, yeah.
You wouldn't be able to hear us over the V8.
I know.
They did give us the keys to the Pure.
I mean, let's not limit ourselves to a V8. Come on, like, I wouldn't mind a V12 to be honest.
I was trying to just get baby steps.
Yeah.
But they did give us the keys for a Pure Sangue, brand spanking new Pure Sangue.
Yeah, probably exactly the spec that I would have as well. It had like it was like a black paint with like purple
undertone,
like a purple, like 3-layer with like a purple on top, and it had a tan interior. It was absolutely gorgeous, like one of my favourite specs. But yeah, I don't know, is that car worth 400 grand? You can buy a lot for that. Like, you could have for 400k, like you could probably have an Urus and an 812 for that money.
That is mental when you put it
So
like
would
that.
you have that? Would you have a, you know, maybe like something like a top spec Range Rover and a 812 GTS, or?
I don't, it depends if you have like lottery winner money. If you have lottery winner money, then you would just, doesn't really matter.
I suppose that the Pure Sangue does everything. It's a V12, it's 4 seats, you can drive it every day, it's got that road presence, it's, you know, quick when you want it to be, it's quiet when you want it to be, so it's probably the perfect all-rounder.
I mean, I think I've seen one on the road.
Yeah, you see them quite a lot in London, to be honest, but
yeah, probably,
you don't really see them up here. The price point's just so high. You know?
I've started seeing a lot of Spectres.
Yeah.
We saw one yesterday in Glasgow.
Must be doing a deal on them.
I forget it. Surely it's one of those.
Definitely not. You just lose. You do bombs in those cars.
Yeah.
Oh, do bombs in them.
But the brand tomorrow, I think they're definitely more of a, you know, we're going to do a car day with like top clients, like, here, have the keys, you join us, we're going to rip it around these roads, and then we're going to go for lunch, and I think we'll be able to shoot content in those cars. And it's not like a bog standard car either, it's like one of our favourite brands as well.
They produce some of my favourite cars over the last 25 years, some really, really, really special stuff. I mean, like some stuff that you would just dream of owning, but yeah, some really cool stuff for sure. So I'm excited to do that, and the interiors of those cars are cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for that.
I was about to give it away, but I won't be doing that. Funny story.
It's actually Renault.
The geezer.
We're getting a Renault 4 tomorrow.
The charity event I went to on the weekend, he had loads of Renaults and Ford rally cars. Yeah. And I originally thought
some of that stuff is priceless, especially if it's some like rally championship cars, or like some of that stuff is worth a fortune, and collectors go mad for that kind of stuff.
I think being Scottish and having the money he's got, he's in some pretty nice circles. I think he's very pally with David Coulthard. So
I don't know if you've ever watched any, you know, that Archie Hamilton, his dad used to own a company called Rothco.
I know exactly who. He's got a good car collection.
Yeah, he started his own car company now where he buys and sells cars, but some of the stuff that his dad used to have, like Le Mans winning cars that hadn't been washed since they won the Le Mans 24 Hours, and like some collectors go mad for that stuff. It's super collectible and super expensive.
But for me, they didn't really do anything for me. I'm not that much of a car nerd, so I was like, these can't be more than 20k. And
yeah. I've been watching some stuff actually. That is Dario Franchitti, who Scottish guy who went to America and kind of dominated American racing for a long time. I was watching an episode of him and his cars, and that guy has got some of the coolest cars. I mean, when I grow up, that's who I want to be, really. But he had some absolutely incredible stuff. He had like F40, he had a Singer 911. He had a Rolls Royce that had been modified into I think it was a Dawn. Is it a Dawn or a Ghost that had been like modified so he can take it skiing with his family? It's got like
the big long one.
big long one
I
out the
know
back,
exactly
which is really really cool. What else did he had? He had a few like really special cars. He had a Carrera GT in Guards Red, which he said his dad's car when he was young. He remembered his dad had the 930 Turbo in Guards Red, which was like, you know, now that car's worth an absolute fortune. But he was like, he had then managed to find that car and gift it back to his dad.
That is mental.
Like years later, which was he's got, you know, one of the coolest garages and coolest lifestyles. Yeah, I think I'd like to be him in a few years' time. But
Yeah.
hopefully, I don't know how that's going to happen. Maybe if I win,
RMs.
maybe if I win the lottery, that'll happen. But
a few more RMs.
yeah.
We were in Scotland, Glasgow, last night, and for those of you who live in the surrounding areas, you'll know our choice of driving ranges isn't the best.
Golf ranges, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a few.
Well, Clydeway's really good. Mearns Castle's really good. The only problem with Clydeway is it doesn't have top tracer. It's got TrackMan, so you need to take a kind of phone or like an iPad with you if you want like a proper.
Yeah.
Like,
and the golf shop's really good there.
the golf shop there is the best.
Yeah.
Mearns Castle's probably got the best range, I would say.
The thing is, what's the story about the wind with Mearns Castle?
It's always downwind, so you always carry your shots like way further than you
It's
should.
like 370 carry, like, they're bad for the driver.
You hit driver like 295, like on a bad strike, and the carry's really good at Mearns. But
So it's a good feel-good factor.
Feel good factor there, but your yardages and your gapping is all wrong. But yeah, I went to Golf It last night, which is a new one in Scotland, well, Glasgow area that's been done, and it looks amazing online. I thought, I'm really excited to go and try that, and walked in. The facilities are really good, and the driving range is a top tracer driving range, so I was buzzing to get going, and then went in, and it was £13 for 100 balls, which is expensive because at Clydeway it's a tenner. So £13 for 100 balls, which is pretty expensive. And then got to the bays, so I've got like two tiers, got upstairs, downstairs, so I was like, I'll take a downstairs bay, and then when you get downstairs, like the bays are like angled like out, and then like, you're like the driving range is like up a hill. It's like on a hill, the driving range, and then the top tracer thing wasn't like calibrated to the flags properly, so trying to get your line on the top tracer thing was difficult, and then it's weird pitting off that because it's not a straight range, so you're kind of angled out, and it looks like it's hard to actually get an accurate feel for where you're hitting the ball. And then the balls that they had were terrible. They were like pinnacles, like pinnacle practice, but obviously they were all cracked, and just not great at all. I think Clydeway have got Strixon, I think, and or Callaway, and I think Mearns Castle have got something the same, which does make a difference.
Yeah, so if anyone in the surrounding areas of Glasgow knows of a better driving range,
I just don't see from a business perspective, like that Golf It, they've obviously spent an absolute fortune on that place. Like, the facilities are incredible, but then just to like drop the ball and get shite balls.
Yeah, see, I really think there's like an opportunity missing.
I mean, I think probably balls are expensive.
Yeah,
and you have to like replenish them all the time, because obviously they're just getting smashed at driving range constantly. But I do think they could definitely have.
Yeah. See, I think there's a real hole in the market up here for something like that. We've got one down south called Silvermere, and I've been going there again since I was like really young, and the golf shop's always been really good there. But again, it was like before like the golf brands are really like popping, it was just like a really good driving range to go to. Now it's like all over TikTok, everyone talks about the golf shop. They've had like a huge extension, and now there's streetwear golf section and there's the normal golf section. It's gigantic. Up here, you go to a driving range, they're never empty. So busy. People like the drip now, so people are in these shops. Like Clydeway have got the shop mastered, but the driving range still like could be better.
I think if they put top tracer in there, it'd be unreal. But
yeah, I agree. And it's like they don't.
I do like Clydeway. It's quite quiet. Nobody bothers you. Like I like the guys in it are dead nice. The clothing, footwear selection is brilliant. It's the only place in Glasgow that sells lab putters. So.
Yeah,
like
true.
They've always got like the new stuff. When you see stuff like on golf websites or whatever, they're always like the first to get it. So they've got some cool golf stuff. But I think maybe just the range is really good. I like the range, but if they had top tracer, it'd be better.
Yeah, and I do love you dearly, but you need a new putter.
Yeah, you say it sounds like a tin of beans, don't you?
It's a ding.
I do quite like it. I bought a even roll putter and I fucking lost. I don't know where I've put it.
I never even saw you play with it.
I went and got it fitted.
Yeah. I never saw you play with it.
I went and got it fitted. Actually, it was the weekend that we went to the golf weekend.
Oh.
With Josh's family, and then I went and got it fitted, and I played terribly that weekend. I think I smashed it off the ground about 3 times and bent it. So then I think I might have just thrown it in a golf bag somewhere, and it's like I don't even know where it is. But
we've maybe got it. I don't know. Did we go at my dad's car? Yeah, we did.
Maybe your dad's got it.
I'll speak to him because I've never seen that up here, and we would have seen it.
I know that's the thing.
And we would have definitely seen it.
I don't know where that went, but I went and got fitted for it. It was like fucking 600 quid.
I mean, how much are the lab putters though?
Lab putters are like 500. I don't really think you need fitted for them though. They're kind of just like
good to go. But you say that I was using it the other day, and there's no bend in the putter, so the putter does sit flash, but the things like
so it gives you the grips like angles, so your attack angles gives you a better roll. But
and I looked down and it was making me dizzy. Yeah. I couldn't get on board with that. My putter, we went to St Andrews, and there's vintage golf shops in St Andrews that do what do they call them, hickory golf clubs?
Yeah.
But there's rooms at the back, and they've just got every brand, every style of club. It's like a bit of a mixed bag. You have to rifle through it. But I wanted a spider putter, went in there, and you can barter. It's like being in Turkey. You go, I want to pay this much, and the guy's prepared to match you on it. So I got my spider putter for about £120 St Andrews. So if you're looking at clubs and
the St Andrews is good. Octoloni's it was that we were in. Obviously famous golf shop.
That's the one.
It's just a wee bit far away from us, isn't it? It's like an hour.
It's a bit too far,
45.
yeah. And we do have the opportunity. We
I don't mind going an hour. Dundonald's perfect.
Yeah.
But Dundonald's golf shop could be way better.
Oh, I completely agree. What's the best? You say that, but we've played a lot of good golf courses. We're very fortunate.
I tell you, who's got the worst golf shop?
JCB. Yeah.
Terrible. I couldn't even buy a pair of socks from that golf shop. Didn't have any socks.
But as we mentioned with Wentworth, I have been in the Wentworth golf shop once because I went to an event. You can only buy something if you play.
You're about to ask me who's got the best golf shop?
Yeah. Who do you think's good?
Do you know who's got a really good golf shop? Prestwick golf shop's good. Remember they played at the start.
They had the wee bamboo.
Remember they played at the start of the holes, the one that the railway runs up along.
Yeah, that was pretty good actually. But again, it's very old-fashioned.
I like that. Yeah, that's got a good one. Clydeway's golf shop's brilliant.
Yeah, it does. All that new Addy.
That's not a golf club, but their golf shops.
Yeah, it's the best place to buy.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
We're not long for pulling up, so we'll try and wrap this. But you were just on the phone to a gentleman there about acquiring a watch, a very nice watch.
Yeah, Bose 5990. Yeah.
I think there was a few good takeaways that you could maybe just let the people know. He's obviously a man who buys.
He's obviously got a lot of cool stuff. He's bought a 5990. He's a Rose one. He's looking to sell it. And he was looking online at kind of prices, and he was like, "Look, I'm looking for 180,000." And they're online. He was like, "Oh, they're online at 189." And yeah, they are online at 189. But the reality of it is probably they're not selling at that price if they're online at that price. So a good thing to take away from it is to kind of get an idea of roughly how I price a watch. So you know, you see them online at between 185 and 189 for a 2025 brand new. He was saying, "Oh, I'm asking 180." He was like, "Oh, I thought leaving 10 grand on the table would have been fair." And I was like, "Yeah, it sounds fair, but actually, when you break it down, you know, the reality of that £10,000, even if you can sell that watch at top money to a retail client, which you know isn't easy at the moment, even if you can sell that watch at that price, you know, the reality of it is that your take home's probably more like 5k from that, and then by the time you've, you know, taken off your actual cost of maybe travel to pick it up or whatever else, it can often not be really that lucrative. And what I need to think to myself is, would I then go and outlay 180 grand to make 4? The percentage on that is terrible. So yeah, it's just not something that we would really be buying at that level. I'd rather hold on to the 180 and give myself a better opportunity to buy more stuff than go and spit. Oh, is that guy just taking that space? Ah, you fucker. Yeah, so it's not. we would really need to be buying that watch at kind of 165, 160 to make it, you know, lucrative enough for us to go and do it, because we need to go and pick it up. You know, you need to then market it. It's probably going to be in stock for 3-4 weeks. You need to then, you know, sell it. There might be some travel cost and the sale. You know, by the time you've paid your bills and netted the profit off, you're really looking at probably somewhere like half in real terms of what the profit looks like. So yeah, just an important thing to say about when prices online. It doesn't always mean that, one, they're selling for that number, and two, that's the kind of number that we'd be looking to pay for it. So it's not just as easy as going, I'll just take 5% off and leave a 5% margin. It doesn't really work like that.
It's not a very true reflection, but we're about to pull up now, find a car park space. So might catch up. We need to see how long this pod actually is. Maybe we'll speak to you guys on the other end of this.
Yep.